Absolutely. And that kind of brings us to the Olympian Table itself, right?
Absolutely. We want
this platform.
We want the Olympian Table to be a platform where people can come in, they can learn, we can share ideas. We want people to get involved with it. If anybody's interested in coming in as a guest, we'd love to hear from you. And we can look at getting you at the table. And, that's why it's called the Olympian Table. Let's bring you in. If you've got anything to share, you've got anything to offer, come in, make a comment. If you disagree with things we say, make that comment as well. That's perfectly okay. But, we just want to hear from you. We want to get people involved because I learn from you just as you learn from me. I mean, that's an Olympian coaching principle.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love about the business being Olympian. I'm actually an Olympian coach, but there's a time when you're teaching ice skating, your knees sort of give up a little bit after 2 knee replacements. Right. So, come in and let's learn from one another.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be very beneficial with being able to have a platform where you can talk, and whether you have differing opinions or not, you can talk about it, discuss it, and also come to get great information about what's going on right now in our industry. From a real estate standpoint, from a financial standpoint, and really kind of be in the know of what's going on. That's the whole key to being able to sit down like this. I just
can't believe how quick our market is changing. In so many things, it really is changing.
Right.
It's mind blowing. To be perfectly honest, to really, if you really get into the mechanics of the industry, it's completely changing. The way people even communicate now. The way people market to people. It's just. I really think social media is part of it, but I don't think it's the actual answer to everything. The way you connect with people. People just have so many more choices now, with cash offers on properties and such like.
Right.
I mean, we do all that as well, and a lot of brokers don't allow you to do. I mean, we want people to be I want agents who want to be investors in themselves, want to build a business, and want to grow their business, and most of all, offer something to the local community.
Right.
And we're, whether you're in Texas, whether you're in North Carolina and California, that's what a successful agent does. They really are invested in the community and offering a service and a value to the local community.
Absolutely. And I think that gives it all value when you can get to the point to where there's a bit of ownership in it. You feel like there's because quite frankly, I mean, you're contractors. You're working for the company, of course, but Absolutely. You're representing this business as your business. So you want to put that effort so that you can be successful in it, and that's with anything.
I've got to tell you, one of the things my father always said, and he's looking me up in heaven now, looking down at me, laughing at me, because he always said, you come into this world with nothing, you leave with nothing. All you got is good memories and, what everybody thinks of you when you leave. And to be perfectly honest, I think that's more important than anything. It's so important that we all do the right thing. And I think more people need to do that more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
People need to show a bit of unity. You and me have a lot of different opinions on a lot of things, but you know what? It's an open, it's a healthy discussion. It's the same with people that are in my company. Some people think I'm a little bit rash with things, but the truth of the matter is I want to be truthful to people. If they've got a problem with me, you can tell me.
But you know what? That's what I think I appreciate the most about you. You don't have to guess what you're thinking, because you'll let us know. Sometimes you work with people and they give you this persona of what they think you want them to say, and it ends up not really being a full, true representation of how they feel, and that I don't like that.
That was the problem with my first broker, to be perfectly honest. I felt as if, they wanted you to be a team member, all right, but they only wanted you to be a team member when it was in agreement with what they said. When if it was something different or a little bit outside the box, and I like to be a little bit of a creative thinker, then it was a problem. So, to be perfectly honest, when a new agent comes in and they want me, it's not about the how, it's about the why. So what happens is, if a new agent comes in and they say, well, how do I do da da da? I always ask them first, what would you do? Mm-hmm. And sometimes new agents actually have a better idea than what I have. And I'm thinking,
right.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. And that's what I'm saying. It's all about sharing ideas. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. The real estate business is not a checklist. It shouldn't be a checklist, you know, but it's got to be done within the ethics of the business. It's got to be done within the ethics. The client always comes first. That's important as well. And that's where I think we as a company, as Olympian, I never wanted to call us Olympian anyway, but to be perfectly honest, but the truth of the matter is the staff that we had at the time decided to call it, you know, Olympian, so I sort of went with it. But the truth of the matter is that's where we are, you know. And I think it's important that you show. But the only way you get anywhere is by working with people, looking at the problems, looking at the solutions, making an educated decision on good knowledge.
Right.
And that's what's so difficult to find now. And that's what we want to do with the Olympian Table. We want something that's providing a value to the local people, whether you're a wannabe investor, whether you're a first-time home buyer, whether you're a seasoned investor, you know, whether you're, you know, you want good commercial advice or you want to get into commercial advice. That's where I feel the value is in this table. We want to invite people to the table, and, you know, and we've got a lot of guests coming up that have shown a valid interest.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, whether it be cryptocurrencies, we've got some people interested. We've got some inspectors that want to come to the table. You know, investors, contractors, and if there's anybody that's interested in coming in, we'd love to hear from you.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know, let's get a relationship going. Let's get that going, and, you know, as long as we've got some value that we can offer people, I think that's fabulous.
I totally agree. I couldn't agree more with you.